let's do a really lovely, gentle workout for our abs. We're going to work all sets of the abs with a few different exercises. So we're going to start with the roll backs. So come to sitting on your mat with your legs hip width apart. You can have your legs bent or your legs straight, whichever is more comfortable for you. You can start with your legs bent if you want. Your feet don't have to be flat on the mat, but keep those knees in line with the hips. So we start each time sitting really tall, tummy pulled in, no tension in the thighs. So take a breath in to sit nice and tall. As you breathe out, just tuck this pelvis under. You're not leaning back from your shoulders. You're just getting this bottom vertebra, then the next one, then the next one. And let's just come down to the tips of our shoulder blades. Keep open across the shoulders and pull in from these abdominals here and come forward in a curve until you're right back up on these sit bones, then sit nice and tall. So sitting tall to start and then tuck the pelvis under. So don't leave your hands here, otherwise you'll start to bring tension into your shoulders. So your arms come with you, so you keep your shoulders open across the front. So it's like you've got a bamboo pole and the front of the shoulders. You can't bring them forward. You have to keep them open. You're just working from all your abs, keeping in the curve as you come all the way up, and then finish sitting nice and tall. If you want to try with your legs straight, then you can, but the most important thing is to tuck this pelvis under, and you're starting from the base of the spine, going back to the tips of the shoulder blades, keeping open across the front of the shoulders as you come forward in your curve. And then when you're on your sit bones, you can sit tall. If you've got your legs straight, in fact, even if you've got your legs bent, you can straighten them and just get this nice stretch over your legs. So you just get a little extra something out of this exercise, but then always come back to a nice tall spine. So it's entirely up to you how you have your legs. I'm going to keep my legs a little bit bent. Make sure you work both sides of your abs the same. Just to the tips of the shoulder blades, coming up in a nice smooth way, keeping in the curve until you're right back on your sit bones, then sitting tall. If you've got bent legs, then just straighten them to get this stretch over the legs. Breathing into your back as you do so, and then back to our starting position. So we're going to do 3 more of these. So as well as using your abs, you're getting a nice opening out feeling in the spine. Never using the shoulders, just always using your abs. And then you get this extra stretch as well. So let's do 2 more. So you don't even have to go as far as the tips of the shoulder blades. Especially once you've done a few, you might find that you're starting to use your shoulder blades when you come back up because you're getting a little bit tired, in which case just go as far as your waist, or not even that far. Just so listen to the body and just build up your strength gradually. But if you're using your shoulders, you're not actually strengthening your abs because you're not using them as much as you should be. So if you can manage just to get the sacrum onto the mat, then that is a really good landmark actually, because that's often the hardest bit, is getting to that point when you first start out. Or if you're feeling a bit tight in the lower back or a bit tired for whatever reason. And then we finish back sitting nice and tall again. Okay, so we're going to do the double kneefold to specifically work this transverse abdominal muscle. So roll yourself, you can roll yourself all the way back now. So if you haven't come all the way back, really control how you come onto the mat. So using your abs the whole way, and then come into your relaxation position with your pelvis in neutral. So put your fingers on this lower transverse abdominal muscle, then you can feel it working. So remember, you're in neutral north to south or top to bottom, and you're in neutral side to side. So you're not going to move your pelvis at all. So we stabilize a split second before we move. Remember to have that vision of this chocolate eclair with lots of squidgy cream under the foot that's staying on the mat, so you don't transfer your weight so much as a touch into that supporting foot. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage this core first, and without any movement in the pelvis, come into a knee fold, and then you can either do the second leg on another out breath. I will on this one. So on my next out breath, keeping that core engaged, no movement in the pelvis as I bring the second leg up. The second leg will go down first on the out breath. For this first one, I'll do it on 2 different out breaths. Remember, you're hinging from your hip socket, not just dropping the foot. So if you haven't done this exercise before, then I suggest you look at the tutorial just to go through those minute details. So I'm going to do the next few double knee folds on the same out breath, but not at the same time. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, engage this lower abdominal, stabilize the pelvis, bring one leg up, then the other without any movement in the pelvis whatsoever, not so much as a millimeter of shift. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, the second leg comes down first, and then the leg that came up first goes down last. So we're going to alternate the legs we start with. So we'll do a few more. So if you've got your fingers on your lower abdominal, then you should really feel that lovely and tight, especially when the second leg comes up. There's no change in the pelvis position. Stay up here, take a breath in. As you breathe out, keeping that core engaged, no tension in your thighs, hinging from this hip socket here, not just dropping the foot onto the mat. So the angle behind the knee stays the same. Take a breath in, breathe out, pull in the core, swapping the leg that I'm starting with. I'm doing it on the same out breath, but if you want to do it on 2 different out breaths, that's entirely up to you. The leg that came up first goes down last. So let's do 2 more. Never transferring weight to your supporting foot. Keeping that pelvis nicely stabilized as you bring the second leg up. The other knee stays above the hip when it's not moving. So when you come back with your feet on the mat, there's no having to readjust your pelvis because it hasn't come out of position. Last one. Good. So however strong you are in your core, you still have to really think about what you're doing and really work from this lower abdominal. So hopefully you've all done this before. If you haven't, then I really strongly suggest that you watch the tutorial. There are tutorials for all of these exercises. So the next one we're going to do is the single leg stretch. So our starting position for this is one of those double knee folds. So again, use that same care and attention to come into your double knee fold. You don't suddenly let it all go to pot and not use your core properly. So I've got my knees above the hips, they're hip width apart. I'll start by putting my hands either side of my left knee, it's nearest to the camera. Now again, if you don't want to curl up, then you don't have to. You can stay with your head and shoulders on the mat. But I'll do the first one with the curl up, and then I'll do one without the curl up. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, curl yourself up, hug your left leg in, and extend your right leg. Stay curled up. Breathe in, draw that right leg in, breathe out, extend the left. So you can have You're always breathing in to draw that leg in. You're always breathing out to extend the leg. So you can take the leg higher if you wish, if you find that taking it lower is harder, or you can take it lower. But you're keeping your body in the center and stabilized. So if you want to do this from the mat position, you still can. And you can still keep this pelvis in neutral. So as you lengthen the leg away, you're not arching in the back, and use that core to draw the leg back in. And again, you can alternate. You can try out either having your leg high or challenging yourself and extending your leg low. But you're always extending the leg from the top of the thigh, whether you're taking the leg high or low. I'm going to come back into my curl up position. We're going to do a couple more on each side. So really using all these abs to stay curled up so there's no tension in your shoulders. I'll do one more on each side. And you can always do some curled up, and if you start to get tired, you finish off with your head and shoulders back on the mat. So finish by hugging your knees into your chest, get that nice little stretch in the lower back. And then like we did in the previous exercise, you come out of your double knee fold, just working from your abdominal, your lower abdominal core muscle back into the relaxation position. So the last set of abdominal muscles we're going to work are our obliques, which wrap around the rib cage from one side going towards the opposite hip. So for this, we're doing a nice gentle version of this. So I'm going to keep the feet on the mat, but I'm going to interlink my fingers behind my head, and then as much as my shoulders allow, have my elbows out to the side without arching the back. So keep your rib cage engaged into your body. So let's do 10 of these on each side. So you can either do 20 alternate, or you can do 10 on one side, 10 on the other, or 4 sets of 5. So I will do 20 alternate. So you're going to come up on an out breath, back on an in breath. So take a breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, curl yourself up. This elbow stays exactly where it is on the mat. You use your oblique muscles to curl yourself up. So you breathe out to curl up and across. Breathe in to bring your foot back onto the mat. Breathe out to curl up and across. So I'm not just putting my arm across my body, I'm curling up, using the muscles around the rib cage to get that rotation to allow my elbow to meet the opposite knee. So always coming back to this starting position. The elbow that's out to the side doesn't move. It's like it's Velcro to the floor at that point. And you're curling up, not just across. So get as much curl up as you can. So it's more about getting the elbow to meet the knee than the knee coming right in to your body. So just do whatever you can. Have a pause if you're not very strong, and then reconnect with them. Sometimes you might want to do 10, and then you have a break, and then you can come back and do another 10. Or you don't even have to do the full 20 if you're not strong enough, so just build it up gradually. And the more you do, the easier it becomes. But these are really important abdominal muscles. They're attached to your back, so by having strong obliques, you have a stronger back. So I'm just going to do 4 more alternate. Really using those abs to lift myself up as well as across. And up. Last one. And then back with both feet on the mat. Let's just hug our knees into our chest once more. Always use your core when you bring your legs off the mat. Get that lovely little stretch. And then again, still using your core coming out of your double knee fold. Now, if you find you can roll yourself all the way up from here, then roll yourself up. If not, come onto your side, come to sitting. But again, we're still not using our shoulders. Let's get one last stretch over our legs to finish. So breathing into your back. So just holding onto your legs wherever you can comfortably reach and just lengthening your body over your legs from your lower back. Lovely couple of deep breaths into the back of your rib cage to open up and stretch those muscles before we restack our spine and sit nice and tall to finish. So that's a really nice gentle way to exercise all the different abdominal muscles that we've got, and then you can gradually build it up from there. Thank you very much.